I'm an unashamed Robert Kubica fan. I couldn't possibly hope to deny that. And while it's unfortunate, I think that the Renault relationship that he has terminated. There's no contractual relationship there for now, at least. So we won't see Robert in a Renault this year, which at one point looked possible. He does now have Nico Rosberg batting for him in a managerial, ambassadorial sense. So Robert's current manager, who's an Italian chap called Alessandro Aluni Bravi, has worked out a deal with Nico, whereby the three of them will work together to try and push Robert back into F1. As Nico pointed out today through social media once this story had broken, he and Robert go a long way back to sort of teenage karting. And Nico actually posted a picture of himself, Lewis Hamilton, and Robert in a car together somewhere at some kart circuit. And he said these two guys were the quickest guys they ever raced against. So he brackets Robert with Lewis as a driver. And I think that respect for Robert's driving talents is what underpins this relationship. So, yes, I'm sure it's something interesting for Nico to do, as he's a retired driver, even though he's a reigning world champion. But I think also there's something quite personal about this.
I can't think of anybody better in the planet to represent you than Nico Rosberg, whether you be a cyclist, racing driver, banker, whatever. He's eloquent, he's multilingual, he's a world champion, he's Nico Rosberg. For Robert, this is an amazing thing.
Yeah, the calling card's pretty good, isn't it? Hello, I'm Nico Rosberg, world champion.
Yeah.
Not that the doors will be closed to Nico anyway, but I mean, it's certainly going to open any doors that might be reluctant to opening. I think, from what I gather, Williams remains the target now, the only realistic seat with actually opened, certainly one open seat next year. Massa's position is unclear there. Lance Stroll is obviously nailed on because of his father's investment in the team. So I think Williams is the target for the Kubica camp. What
was your take on how Robert actually went in the test in Hungary for Renault?
From what I hear, the outright speed was exceptional, and he still has lost none of the pace that he always had. And some of the times worked out, depending on who you talk to, actually marginally quicker than those that were set by Hulkenberg on a sort of comparable fuel-adjusted basis. The worry, as far as Renault were concerned, is that he didn't prove that he could sustain that pace for a race distance, which could be for a number of reasons, such as unfamiliarity with the car, tyres. Hybrid engines are new to him, and obviously there is a question over his strength and fitness, not necessarily his cardiovascular fitness, which is very high because he's been training very hard, but how his damaged and repaired arm will stand up to race distances at race pace remains something unproven, and actually it can't be proven until someone takes the step of putting him in a car and saying off you go and race. So it's a kind of known unknown, but someone needs to take that chance, I think, because of the quality of driver that's there. There are two main problems as I understand it. One is outright power. So there's been the extent of the muscle and tissue damage to the arm is such that it will probably never be fully strong again. I mean, it was virtually severed, and it's amazing that that it's actually repaired and he has a functioning arm, hand and wrist and all his fingers. Everything is there, but it's damaged to the extent that it can't actually ever fully grip to the extent that his left arm still does. If you shake his hand now, he's not afraid of using his hand, but you're aware it's a weaker handshake than you would expect from a racing driver who characteristically all have very strong, grippy handshakes. As for the sensitivity, that's a slightly harder one to assess. He lacks a little bit of articulation in his fingers, so he finds it hard to do that, wiggle his fingers, simply because the full range of movement isn't there. And it's difficult for him to fully rotate his right wrist. But he says that the overall grip and sensitivity that he's able to exert on the wheel, if you like, the interface that he has with the steering wheel, he believes isn't particularly compromised, mainly because power-assisted steering on modern Formula One cars takes away the need for sheer strength. And he's shown, I think, that he can drive a car at exceptionally fast speed still.